Another rage bait clickbait
You
video.
complaining about all the stuff I like.
Typical shonen slopper opinion.
Dog,
SMH.
straight up hating,
I
acting
took a
like
peek at your
DBZ
channel.
was
You're gonna
better.
burn out
God,
very,
I
very
hate
fast
Gen
if you
Z
make
cringe
your content.
talk.
This entire channel is based on clickbait and rage bait.
Alright, that's it. Everybody clear the room or I'm up in the Drake. For some odd reason, I have tons of comments from people who aren't even subscribed to the channel, constantly saying stuff like, all this guy does is hate on every anime no matter how popular. This is not true at all, but I decided, you know what? Alright, I'll play a little game. Today, I'm not gonna hate on anything. No critiques under any circumstances. And today, we're talking about Dandadan. I'm sure there shouldn't be too much to hate on anyway. The first chapter has an essay scene. Oh my god. Dandadan is a shonen manga serialized in Jump Plus, written and illustrated by Yukinobu Tatsu. This is another manga that I found out about scrolling through the cold, sweaty trenches of Twitter. Of course it caught my eye because how could it not? At first glance, this art will have you feeling like that one SpongeBob meme. The art is just insanely good. Another thing that tempted me to read it was because I heard that Tatsu actually worked as an assistant to Tatsuki Fujimoto, the author of Chainsaw Man. And if you are new here, you know how I feel about Tatsuki Fujimoto. In fact, when I heard about Dandadan, I had just caught up to Chainsaw Man. And y'all know what it's like to have to read Chainsaw Man weekly. I'd rather take a falcon punch to the balls than have to read Chainsaw Man weekly. So for me, before even reading Dandadan, it had everything going for it to make it one of my favorite entries in Shonen Jump. Amazing art and protege of Fujimoto. What could go wrong? Fan service, nigga. Oh god. Upon reading the first chapter of Dandadan, I immediately dropped it because of this. Why? Why is this happening? Off rip too, like this is chapter uno. Soon enough, it would be announced that Dandadan was getting an anime adaptation. Not to mention that everyone who spoke about Dandadan had no negative opinions, except for the one I just shared about the fan service. But then again, what did I expect? This is a protege of Fujimoto. This dude created the horniest main character of all time. So I said screw it. I decided to clench my ass cheeks and get through that first chapter. I wanted to see what the hype was about. Mama ain't raised no hoe. What I realized is that Mama just raised the dude that gets bored easily because I dropped it around 40 chapters in. I have a really bad habit of doing that. Anyway, some time passes and at this point season 2 of the anime is almost done. While the anime was airing, I didn't pay too much attention to it. Ultimately, it came down to the fact that me and my girl wanted to binge a new anime, so we decided on Dandadan. And I'm so glad we did because this story is amazing. We fell in love with Dandadan. It's literally all we wanted to watch at that point. I remember when we tried to watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners and we couldn't pay attention because we kept doing a freak nasty. But watching Dandadan, my peen was off limits. No more touchy, we're fighting a kaiju. So it's safe to say that I love the anime so much that I decided to go back to the manga and get caught up. And now, instead of being the biggest hater in the world or whatever y'all claim me to be, I decided to make this video to tell you guys why you should experience Dandadan. Under all of the weird stuff, it's actually pretty good. So before I start this, make sure you guys subscribe, leave a like, hit that hype button, and comment, tell me what you think about Dandadan. Can we get much higher? So high. Dandadan is a story about our two main characters, Momo Ayase and Okurun. You see, Momo is like a regular teenage girl, trying to find love in a world full of scumbags. She wants somebody that's reminiscent of Ken Takakura, her favorite superstar actor. And Okurun is just a nerdy kid that likes aliens and gets bullied. Momo ends up saving Okurun from some bullies, which prompts Okurun to go ask her if she's interested in aliens. Now listen, Okurun, this shot selection is terrible. I don't know not one girl that's going for this. This is your shot right now, Okurun. But the crazy part about this whole thing is that this nigga sinks it. Nothing but net. I've never seen anything like this before. Okurun, you might be goated. But you know what? This is, first time he got lucky. It might be a fluke, you feel me? Momo doesn't believe in aliens, but she does believe in spirits and yokai. Okurun doesn't share this belief despite believing in aliens, so they make a bet with each other. If Okurun goes to a place and finds yokai, he has to be Momo's gopher, and vice versa for Momo, but instead she has to find aliens. They both go to the designated areas and find exactly what they're looking for. Okurun gets possessed by a spirit named Turbo Granny, and Momo, well, y'all know what happens to Momo, I said in the beginning of the video. They both end up awakening superpowers that help them defeat the Epstein Island aliens. Once they get out of the situation, Momo realizes that she never learned Okurun's real name, and when she asks, he tells her his real name is actually Ken Takakura. The rest of the story is pretty much just them defeating yokai and navigating through one of the hardest challenges in life, love. Also, the rest of the story revolves around finding Okarun's semen sacs. Dandadan is one of those concepts that sounds extremely weird on paper but works well in execution. Actually, let me rephrase that. It works well when it's being executed by the person who's executing it. Yukinobu Tatsu is an amazing writer. He's been able to make this series go on for so long because the story is not plot focused, it's just fun. I mean, let's be honest, Dandadan is not the most plot heavy, lore heavy series. It's just a bunch of shenanigans. But I feel like having fun is the most important aspect of reading or watching the series. Now, you may be asking, hey Q, don't that mean Dandadan kind of pointless type shit? Like the story don't got no direction type shit? And on the contrary, you know, I don't know why I made you like sound like you're from Atlanta, but you just go with it. On the contrary, Dandadan is not a lore heavy story, but that doesn't mean it's pointless, because instead of being driven by lore, the plot is driven by the stories of these characters. And that's one of the main reasons why I love this manga so much. Dandadan is one of those manga that can easily go on for 500, even 1,000 chapters because of the way that it's structured. When I'm reading Dandadan, I honestly don't care about where the plot's gonna go or the secret lore about the aliens with metal dongs. What I care about is spending time with these characters. I care about the love story between Okarun and Momo. I care about whether Gigi is able to keep the evil eye intact. I care about how Vamola is adapting to the new world. Ira. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about that one. The characters are what make this story amazing, and it's the backstories of those characters that make it 20 times better. Let me tell y'all, Yukinobu Tatsu is a master at changing the tone of the story and making it flow naturally. Usually in stories, the tone is fixed, especially when it comes to action comedy series. In an action mystery series, yes, there might be some comedy from time to time, but most of the time the tone is going to be serious with heavy stakes. In these types of stories, since the tone is already serious, they have no problem telling deeper stories. But they aren't scared to add little moments of comedy to lighten the mood. But with action comedy series, it's a little different. For some reason, most of these series focus straight up only on comedy and action, with the tone just being irreverent all of the time. There will be traces of character development here and there, only for it to be abandoned so that they can make more poop jokes. However, Yukinobu Tatsu takes it there, and he takes it far. He explores so many mature topics and changes the tone to make you feel a range of emotions, and it works so well. Tatsu is like that plug that got all the flavors. He gonna pull up on you like, konnichiwa nigga, what you want? You wanna laugh? Here's Turbo Granny. You wanna cry? Here's Zuma's backstory. You wanna get bricked up? Here's Granny Seiko, you freaky frog. The backstories explore so many topics. Ira's mother having to sell her body to make ends meet just to make sure that Ira lives a happy life, only for her to get taken away, is just heartbreaking. But Mola's backstory, where she had to experience war, devastation, and death, being sent to Earth to find a husband to continue her race's lineage, it's just super gritty. But my favorite backstory has got to be Zuma's, bro. I was actually tearing up at this one. Zuma's dad died because he was overworked, and the landlords blamed his mom for his death. I hate landlords, bro. This is not even a part of the script. I just wanted to add that in there. Next, he lost his little brother, and his mother loses her mind. She tries throwing Zuma in front of a train, but she ends up getting hit by the train instead and loses her own life. So Zuma becomes this delinquent with all this hate in his heart for the world, and meets this cop that basically reforms him and becomes like a father figure. It's just so beautiful, bro. This is the same manga where a house turns into a cat, by the way. Basically, what I'm trying to say is the comedy and irreverent tone never takes away from the deeper moments of Dandadan. And even though the plot might not be that deep, it's the characters that make you want to continue to tune in. Now, don't get me wrong, the plot isn't non-existent. There's a lot of mystery with what's going on behind the recently introduced main villain of the story, Saint Germain, and how he's recruiting people to steal yokai powers. And another development that I'll talk about later. But other than that, yeah, the characters are where it's at, and I'm not creative enough to think of a segue, so let's take a look at the—
I used to have hoop dreams until I found out there were other ways to score.
This is the bread and butter of this manga, the main course. I love the Dandadan characters. I would hang out with these guys every day. All these characters are cool as hell, and I know for a fact that they'd sub to my channel if they were real, just like how you should do. And hit that hype button, man. Help a brother out. First off, Momo is a very good protagonist. She's got a good fashion style, she's really smart and spunky, and sometimes she's really funny. People usually don't opt for girl main characters. One, because of the demographic. You know, in Japan, the people who read shonen typically don't like female main main characters, and 2, because people usually don't know how to write female characters, me included. You should go read my manga Crystal Wars to see how bad I am at doing that. Alright, I'm done with the plugs. I'm done, I promise. You know, that probably wasn't the best way to promote my manga anyway. Most mangaka don't write female characters correctly, but Momo is such a badass, and she's a girly girl at the same time, which is great. Good job, Mr. Tatsu. Okarun is the classic shonen nerd, but honestly, I like him too. He's had so much growth since the beginning of the story, becoming more confident with every battle he goes through. And somehow he pulled Momo. Like I said earlier, that had to have been a fluke. He don't got the source like that. Granny Seiko is fine. Ira is honestly annoying to me. She's one of the more tropey characters in the manga. She always wants beef with Momo. Like, just give it up. You can't tweak with Shorty. She be beefing with Momo because she also likes Okarun. No way, this dude Okarun is 2 for 2? His shot release is perfect. This dude greening from another galaxy. I just can't fathom what I'm seeing here. Please, Okarun, my girl watches Dandadan, and I don't know if I'm at risk. Gigi is funny as hell, bro. Usually I don't like the super over-the-top comedy characters in manga. I feel like comedy is better when it comes out naturally, and these characters be forcing it sometimes. But Gigi works for me. I just don't know why. And him having Evil Eye makes him a lot more interesting. Having to control a super deadly power from coming out and killing everybody is main character energy. I like Kinta, but he's one of my least favorite characters out of the group, only second to Ira. And it's not even that he's a bad character, we just haven't had as much time to spend with him as we've had with the other characters. And the over-the-topness gets really annoying when we're trying to be serious, bro. But it's fun, so whatever. Vamola is alright. She hasn't really been involved with a bunch of major story beats since she was introduced, so... Oh nah, at this point it's no way. He just met her. Zuma is pretty cool too. I like his powers. I think that Tatsu was trying to make him exactly like Kenta Kakura the actor, which is interesting. I wish he would have expanded on that a little bit more. But his backstory? Chef's kiss. The main crew of this manga are all good characters individually, but in my opinion, when they come together is when they really shine. They all bounce off each other perfectly, and I think more importantly, they all truly feel like friends. And in my opinion, this manga has one of the most fun cast of characters that I've ever seen. But there's one character that honestly makes this manga so enjoyable. She's been gone for a long time in recent chapters, you know, and I miss her. And if you read this manga, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Yes, you and me cried when she exited the story. When Turbo Granny finally got her powers back and left the story, never to be seen again. Turbo Granny is my favorite character in this manga. She is the funniest thing to ever happen to shonen. Like, look at this. What other character do you know talks like this? I personally don't like the trope where the anime spirit ends up becoming friends with the main characters after they get defeated. It's just not my thing for real. I think it breaks the emergence. But goddamn, Turbo Granny is such a goated character. She's so unhinged and not give a fucky. I love it. Not only that, but she's super endearing, helping Okarun get stronger with her power and showing that she genuinely cares about the kids, even though she tries to act like she doesn't. It's just so good, man. Honestly, I never expected her to get her powers back this early, and I thought when she got her powers she was at least gonna turn on them and try to attack, but no, she just leaves unceremoniously, and we haven't heard from her since. We need her back, man. This was the soul of this manga. Overall, Dandadan is a great series. If you like fun and unhinged comedy, or if you like deep cutting emotional backstories, Dandadan is for you. Wait, hold on, I think I forgot some characters. Oh yeah, the class rep. Oh nah, what did Okarun got her too? Bro, this is getting ridiculous. These girls haven't even talked to him. Hold on. Hello? Yeah, what's up? I was just recording this Dandadan video. Hey, babe, tell them what's your favorite Dandadan character for the video?
Well, I think Okarun may be my favorite character.